Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we explore the fascinating stories behind the sources you share.
Hello.
Today, we've got something really special. It's an artifact, but with a twist.
It really is. We're talking about a vintage money box.
Yeah, but not your standard piggy bank. This one's a skull.
A skull made in the U.S. back in 1981. And it has this mechanism.
Right. You press a switch, its arm snatches a coin.
And then bam, the eyeballs pop right out. It's quite theatrical.
It really is. Almost like a little show every time you save a coin.
Exactly. Turns saving money into something, well,
Yeah.
memorable.
And that's what pulled us in. So for this deep dive, we're following its restoration.
A really detailed restoration done by someone known as Brother Xi in Romania.
We want to get into the how, the nuts and bolts of fixing it up.
But also the why. Like, why do we find these old, slightly creepy things so appealing? What's the story they tell?
Exactly. So just take a second and picture it. This old, probably dusty, maybe a bit rusty skull money box before all the work.
Yeah, imagine what condition it must have been in. Decades old.
Okay, so let's dive in. The restoration journey starts, naturally, with taking it apart, getting inside that skull.
Which sounds kind of dramatic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, first step for Brother Xi.
He started with WD-40 on the base. Pretty standard stuff for loosening old parts, right?
Absolutely. You've got potential rust, grime. Things seize up over, 40 years?
Good point. So after letting that soak in, he tackled these two long pins, threaded pins.
Right. Those held the head onto the base. Taking those out was key to separating the main parts.
And guess what they found inside?
Ah, the source mentioned this. Some leftover coins, right?
Yeah, like little ghosts of savings past. A cool little find.
Definitely adds to the history of the piece.
So once it was open, they got to look at the mechanism, the part that makes the arm move and the eyes pop.
And you'd think it would be super complicated, wouldn't you?
Totally, but apparently not so much.
No, the source says the principle was actually pretty straightforward. One half of the skull just had this connecting rod system.
Simple, but effective then.
Very. It's kind of neat how these older toys could create such a big effect with relatively simple mechanics. Ingenious, really.
Okay, so everything's in pieces. Now comes the less glamorous part, I imagine, the cleaning.
Oh yeah, decades of life leave their mark. Rust, dirt, you name it.
So how did he tackle that? The source mentions a spray cleaning machine, or maybe abrasive blasting.
Sounds like it. Something pretty heavy duty to strip off all that rust and corrosion, get it down to the bare metal, leaves it really clean.
But cleaning reveals other things, doesn't it? Like flaws in the original casting?
Exactly. Once the rust is gone, you see the imperfections. Little bumps, uneven edges maybe.
And Brother Xu, being meticulous, couldn't leave those.
No way. He apparently used a small grinder to smooth out all those edges and corners, just making everything perfect, regularizing it.
Creating that flawless surface for the next steps.
Precisely. And there was more prep too. Things like thread tapping.
Which is like recutting the screw threads so they're perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And chamfering, which is smoothing sharp edges. Little details, but they matter for assembly and finish.
Okay, surface prepped. Now for the fun part, the paint. Making it look new again.
This is where the artistry really comes in. The main skull body got electrostatic spraying.
That sounds high-tech. Is it like powder coating?
It's similar in principle. It uses an electric charge to make the paint particles wrap around and stick really evenly. Great for complex shapes like a skull.
And the color choice was interesting. Milk powder color.
Yeah, like a soft, maybe slightly off-white, almost a bone color perhaps, but gentler. It definitely changes the whole vibe.
From maybe grim to something else.
Right, and after spraying, straight into the oven.
An oven, really?
Yep, 200 degrees Celsius for about 10 minutes. It bakes the paint on, cures it, makes it hard and durable.
Okay, and the other parts got paint too.
They did. The eyeballs were sprayed white, kind of like a base coat,
Makes sense.
and the connecting rod mechanism and the base itself were sprayed black. Classic contrast.
And those went into the oven too.
Same treatment. 10 minutes at 200 degrees. Consistency is key.
Now this next bit is where it gets really fascinating, I think. Adding the details back.
This is where you see the original design intent come back to life. He hand-painted the chest area gold.
Gold! Why gold?
Well, it revealed the skull was actually shown holding a pile of gold coins.
No way! So it's literally a money box depicting money or wealth.
Exactly. A pretty direct symbol of what people hope for when they save, right? That aspiration for wealth.
Yeah, but on a skull.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, like maybe a warning about greed? Or just playful?
That's the interesting tension, isn't it? The macabre meeting the mundane desire for riches
Yeah.
adds a whole layer to it.
Definitely. And the eyes, they didn't just stay white, did they?
Oh no. This is where the artistry gets dialed up. He outlined them with fine red lines.
To make them look bloodshot.
Precisely. A really vivid, slightly startling effect.
Wow, okay.
And then the final touch described as dotting the dragon's eye.
What does that mean, like adding the pupil?
Probably adding that final detail, maybe a tiny highlight or the pupil itself that makes the eye look alive. It's a term from painting, giving it spirit.
Giving spirit to bloodshot eyeballs on a skull. That's quite a choice.
It really makes them look back at you though.
Yeah,
Gives them character, intense character.
I'll bet. So after all that painting, did he seal it?
Yep. A clear spray coat went over everything. Protection, but also maybe enhancing the look.
And the overall result was described as?
Realistic yet a bit scary, which sounds spot on for this thing.
Yeah, that blend of playful but still, a skull.
Nailed it.
So that's the main body. But what about all the little bits? Screws, pins, small mechanical parts?
Right, those needed attention too. They went into a vibrating tumbler.
Like a rock tumbler.
Sort of, yeah, but filled with white glass sand. It gently vibrates and the sand acts like a very fine abrasive.
Ah, so it cleans off rust and gunk without being too harsh on small parts.
Exactly. Very effective for fiddly little components.
But then came a snag. Something Brother Xi, the perfectionist, noticed.
Yes. Those long threaded pins holding it together. He realized they weren't the originals.
Someone had replaced them at some point.
Seems like it. And for someone aiming for a perfect restoration, that just wouldn't do.
So what did he do? Just find better replacements?
Nope. He went further. He remade them from scratch.
Seriously, he fabricated new pins.
Yep. grinding, shaping, making sure they were absolutely perfect replicas of what should have been there. That's dedication.
That really is going the extra mile. And did he treat these new pins too?
Oh, absolutely. First, electrostatic spraying on the heads, carefully masking off the threaded parts.
Okay, same paint process.
Seems like it. Then drying, and then an extra step. Nickel plating.
Nickel plating, what's that for?
It coats the metal surface, usually the threads in this case, with a layer of nickel. It looks good, shiny, but crucially, it prevents oxidation. Rust-proofing, essentially.
Wow, so incredible attention to detail, even on the internal parts, like pins.
It really shows the level of rigor, doesn't it? No compromises for a perfect result.
So after all that painstaking work on every single piece, finally, reassembly.
Must have been a great moment. Seeing it all come back together, looking brand new, working perfectly.
Yeah, like the final act, bringing it back to life.
And it's more than just fixing a toy, isn't it? These money boxes, they have this cultural weight.
For sure. They're all about saving, accumulating wealth, planning for the future. It's basic symbolism.
And they go way back. Ancient times, made of clay, wood, metal. The idea's been around forever.
And the core purpose, especially for kids, is teaching those habits, right? Saving up bit by bit.
Absolutely. Diligence, thrift, patience, all those traditional values wrapped up in a simple container.
Which is probably why people still keep them around today, even if we use digital banking for everything else.
There's something tangible about dropping a coin in, hearing it clink. And this skull one, with its gold coins and dramatic action, it's a very unique take on that tradition.
Okay, so let's talk about the transformation, the before and after.
The source uses a great phrase for the before state. It had a sense of historical precipitation.
Ooh, I like that. Like you could almost see the years settled on it, like dust or sediment. The history was visible.
Exactly. The wear, the fading. It told a story of age.
But after Brother Shu's work, the description changes completely.
Yeah, it's described as more friendly and childlike.
Friendly, a skull money box with popping bloodshot eyes.
Huh. Well, maybe friendly compared to its aged, possibly grim before state. The clean lines, the fresh paint, maybe that unique milk powder color softened it.
Perhaps. Less like an ancient relic, more like a quirky, newly made toy. It's a huge shift in feeling.
It really is. From something potentially imposing or spooky because of its age to something maybe more approachable, even whimsical, despite being a skull.
So thinking about that change, that shift from historical precipitation to friendly and childlike, do you feel that way looking at restorations like this? Does it resonate with you?
It's a really interesting question, isn't it?
It brings us to the heart of what restoration means. We've seen this incredible journey, the mechanical skill, the artistic touches, bringing this unique skull money box back from the brink.
An amazing blend of technical work and artistry, definitely.
But it leaves us thinking about those two feelings, that weight of history versus the vibrancy of the new finish.
Right, that historical precipitation versus the friendly and childlike.
So the question for you, listening, is what does this kind of transformation tell us about how we relate to old things? When we restore something so completely, does it change its fundamental character?
Does it enhance its story by letting it function and be seen as intended again? Or does removing the patina of age erase some of its soul?
How do we balance valuing the marks of time versus celebrating the object brought back to life? Is one better than the other?
Something to definitely mull over. Where does the value lie in the journey it shows or in the maker's original vision, reborn?